Welcome to The Explainer. So, have you ever landed on a web page for a health supplement and just found yourself scrolling and clicking and maybe even thinking, should I buy this? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to deconstruct the sales page for a product called Sugar Defender to see exactly how it works. We're going to map out the entire customer journey from that first little spark of curiosity all the way to the final click. Okay, so every one of these journeys starts with a hook. And notice, the page doesn't lead with the product, it leads with the problem. It asks about these really common, frustrating things like brain fog and energy crashes. This isn't just a random question. It's designed to make you immediately think, yeah, that's totally me. It creates an instant connection. So now that they've got your attention by talking about your problem, what's the next logical step? Well, they introduce the solution. And it's not just any solution. It's framed as this big, bold promise. The goal here is to position this product as the one and only answer to those issues they just brought to the front of your mind. Now, look at the specific words they're using here. Things like #1 rated and thousands. Those aren't there by accident. They're all about building authority and showing that, hey, other people are using this. And then you get these magic words, quickly, easily, and from home. These are chosen specifically to break down all the usual excuses we have for not trying something new. It's too hard, it'll take too long, it's a hassle. They're trying to remove all of your doubt before it even has a chance to set in. Okay, so you've made this huge promise. Now you gotta back it up, right? To do that, the strategy pivots. It moves away from those emotional claims and toward what looks and feels like hard science, breaking the product down into its core ingredients. You know, this table is actually a really clever piece of marketing. It takes a bunch of ingredients you've probably never heard of and makes them seem totally understandable. Each one gets tied to a simple, clear benefit, like boost your energy or fat-burning aid. It gives you the feeling of a scientifically researched formula, but without bogging you down in complicated science. It feels credible, but it stays really simple. All right, after laying out the science, the strategy shifts again. Now it moves from what the product is made of to what it actually does for real people. This is a classic, powerful move to build trust using something called social proof. And bam! The first thing you see is this number, almost a perfect score. And not from 10 people, but from over 2,000. That number alone does so much work. It screams widespread satisfaction and makes a new customer feel a whole lot safer about trying it. Now, this first review, it's chosen very carefully. It hits two huge selling points. First, it just plain works. More energy, stable blood sugar. But second, it highlights convenience. It speaks directly to the person who might be thinking about buying all these things separately, and it positions Sugar Defender as the easy, all-in-one fix. So, right after the review about convenience, you get this one, which introduces a new idea, value. This testimonial frames the product not just as something that works, but as a financially smart move. It reinforces that idea that you're not just buying a product, you're getting a really good deal. Okay, the stage is completely set. They've built up the promise, they've shown you the science, you've seen the great reviews. So now it's time to actually make the offer. But notice, they don't just throw a price tag at you. The whole thing is presented in a very specific, very deliberate way. Before you even see a single dollar sign, you see this chart. By telling you that a whopping 96% of customers choose the 6-bottle option, it creates this powerful psychological anchor. It makes you think that ordering the biggest package is the normal, popular, and logical thing to do. And then the pricing table comes in to reinforce that anchor. The price per bottle drops like a rock the more you buy. And by literally labeling the 6-bottle option best value, it makes the economic argument crystal clear. It makes it feel like the smartest financial choice if you're really committed. And just to sweeten the deal even more, they start piling on the bonuses. Free ebooks, free shipping. These are extra incentives designed to make that best value option feel like an absolute no-brainer. They add a ton of perceived value to the offer, making it feel even more generous. So, the offer is on the table, but there's always one last hurdle, right? It's that little voice of doubt in the back of your head. But what if it doesn't work for me? To shut down that final doubt, the page introduces its guarantee. This is all about eliminating every last bit of risk for you, the buyer. And the promise is super simple and strong. You get a full 60 days to try it. That's 2 whole months. A trial period that long suggests that they're really confident the product works, and it gives you the peace of mind that your money is safe. And to make that guarantee feel totally real and not just some empty promise, they break the process down into 3 easy-peasy steps. By saying you can even send back empty bottles and get your money back within 48 hours, it makes the whole thing feel less like a vague policy and more like a concrete, ironclad promise. Okay, so we have walked through the entire sales pitch. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you find the fine print. And this is where the legal disclaimers give crucial, and I mean crucial, context to every single claim we've just looked at. This right here is the standard disclaimer you'll find on basically every dietary supplement in the US. It is a critical piece of information. It means that the product's claims haven't gone through the kind of intense, rigorous scientific testing that a pharmaceutical drug has to. And this final point, this is what brings it all together. This reveals the central tension of this whole marketing strategy. On one side, you have the exciting, persuasive marketing promise. And on the other, you have the legally required disclaimer that says this product isn't actually intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The space between those two statements, that's where this kind of marketing lives. And understanding that gap between the big sales pitch and the quiet regulatory reality, that is the single most important tool you have as a consumer.